Patrick Parson here for the Agile Forum. Let's talk today about when a story doesn't get done in a sprint. So when a sprint starts, each story that's on the board is owned by one team member. We call that person in JIRA terms the assignee. The ask on that story or the problem to be solved is clearly defined in the story, and the team member takes the baton when the sprint starts. They move that story across the board. They add comments to the story. They own that story. That team member would reach out for help if necessary. They would throw a flag if there's a blocker. If there's any chance the story will not finish in the sprint, they should let the team know that on the stand-up, let the Scrum Master know that, and then the team would engage and help figure out how to get that story done, if anyone can offer assistance, how we can kind of swarm on that story to get it done. Also on the stand-up each day, team members are listening to each other as they talk about what they did yesterday and what they're going to do today and their blockers. They listen for those opportunities to help and assist, so everyone on the team is informed about where your story is as we go through the sprint. So this doesn't take any responsibility away from the assignee, the owner of the story. You're still responsible for making sure that that story gets done. You have complete ownership of that story. Anytime a story doesn't get done in a sprint, which should be the exception on teams and not the rule, it's a learning moment. Discuss it in the retro and find out what we learned from not completing that story. Can we avoid what happened going forward? Was our backlog refinement and sprint planning lacking in some way? Did we not execute well in those meetings? Were we rushing? Were we pushed by the PO to take on more work than we should have? Did we not ask the right questions? Were we not referring back to our acceptance criteria as we worked in the story within the sprint to make sure we were meeting those acceptance criteria? Sometimes team members don't look back at those acceptance criteria until late in the sprint. Oftentimes it's too late. And if the team does identify something that needs to be improved, then the team can brainstorm and talk about how that might be improved. What can we do differently in our backlog refinement or sprint planning meeting? Or maybe it's something else. The team should talk about that, identify it, and then discuss whether there's any changes to our ways of working on the team or something that we can change to improve that situation going forward. Get buy-in from the team on any changes to your Agile ways of working or team agreement, and then move forward. Remember that not finishing a story is an opportunity for the team to learn, communicate with each other, and grow. I hope this helps.